Wanted to open today with some amazing words from the Stoics. And it's from Socrates. No man has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable of. I think that's poetic. And then he goes on to say, it is a disgrace to grow old through sheer carelessness before seeing what manner of man you may become by developing your bodily strength and beauty to their highest limits. And yet we live in a world where it is so fundamentally fucking rare to be in good shape. Like, it is beyond belief how fucking rare it is. I've spoken about the statistic before, that you are statistically more likely to be a millionaire than have a six-pack. Like, just think about that. Think about the world we live in and how rare it is to know anyone who's a millionaire. And yet it's statistically more likely that you know someone who's a millionaire, or you are a millionaire yourself, than it is to have a six-pack. Think about what that says. Think about how that describes our society at the moment. And even how it's poo-pooed and shamed and all that kind of stuff, down to things like, if you eat meat or work out or want to be in good shape, that's toxic masculinity and it's body shaming because you're fat phobic, because you don't want to be fat. Well, yes, correct. Because you should want to be in the best fucking shape of your life. You shouldn't want to be fat. It is not a desirable state. It is not something that we look for. It is something that is a problem, and it is a sign that you have a problem with eating food, with addiction to food, with self-control, with discipline, with motivation. It is a definitive sign that there is something going askew in your life. And that doesn't mean you have to be, bodybuilder, ready to step on stage, shredded to the nine, paper thin skin. No, but you should be in good fucking shape. You should be able to go out and handle whatever life fucking throws at you. And there is nothing that prepares you more for the rigmarole of life than working out and being in great shape. Of testing yourself daily, working through hard times, pushing through stress and difficultness, and handling it and coming out the other side ready for more. We as men particularly, I think, were built to do hard shit. It is like in our DNA to work hard, to do hard things, to conquer, to overcome, to challenge, to fight, to battle, to compete. We need these things. It's what drives us forward. It's what makes us men. It's what allowed us to become, I hate it as a term, but alphas, because you would pursue it. And you were the strongest and the fittest, and therefore you got the most food, and then you produced the strongest and the fittest children, and you continued that bloodline and these kinds of things. And we have so fundamentally lost our way that life is so fucking exceptionally easy that it is too simple to just not do anything of note with your life. To just be a fat slob on the couch and just while away the time and not actually go out and work for anything, and to not test your body and to not know what you are capable of. And I don't care how accomplished you are in your life, you are leaving stuff on the table if you aren't in good shape. Again, definition of good shape can change, but at the very least, you are lifting weights. You have an aerobic capacity. You have the ability to handle life when it's thrown at you. You are leaving it on the table, and you are setting up the next generation to be fucked from the get-go. So I pride myself on being a very hands-on dad. It is one of the greatest joys I have in this life, is to be part of my children's life. There is nothing that brings me more joy than that. And my favourite day of the week, and theirs too, is family day. It's the day when Daddy doesn't work. We spend the whole day together. And I fucking love it. And we often take him out to the park or the zoo or, play equipment or the aquarium or whatever the fuck it might be. And we take him out. And this last weekend gone, my wife was helping her sister move house. So she asked me to take the kids. So I took them. It wasn't the best day, so I took them to a place called Monkey Mania, which is nearby where my sister-in-law lives. And it's an indoor, soft play land thing. And, I'm going to forewarn you, there's probably a trigger warning in this, but I probably should have started this session with a trigger warning, but, fuck it. The amount of parents in there that, and I don't generally like to judge, but I'm going to fucking judge here, who I don't think should be parents, was astronomical. And look, yeah, I can't judge their situations, but the amount of kids who were in there who just clearly wanted someone's attention. And there is this whole series of parents sitting at these tables on their phone, and these kids would come up and be like, "Mummy, come look at this. Daddy, come play with me on this." And they'd be like, "No, just go play." And they'd sit there on their phone, glued to it like a fucking zombie, not aware of any of it. Not present, not caring, not giving any of this. And it's one of these ones that has perplexed me for a long time of, I don't understand why you would have children if you didn't want to have children. I think to raise children and to do it properly, you have to sacrifice a lot. There is a lot that is called upon you to be a parent. It is one of the most hands-on, taxing tasks. But the reward is, there is nothing but upside if you do it. But it's like that saying that it's only hard to be a parent if you're a good parent. And I'm watching these parents and I was like, I was there for 4 hours. And there was maybe 2 other parents who were actually there playing with their kids, who were actually in there doing stuff with their children. And it gobsmacked me. I saved probably 5 or 6 children during that time, which always makes me feel really awkward because I'm basically having to lift small children out of positions that they've gotten themselves stuck into. The amount of kids who are crying because they couldn't reach something, couldn't get to something, couldn't get out of a situation, and there is no parent in sight to care. And the few who were in there battling it, and I give them the highest props, who are in there with me, crawling around on your hands and knees, climbing up staggered levels and things of this nature, were giving it their all, but they were dying. They're out of breath, they're struggling, they can barely move through these spots. And so it comes back to that Aristotle quote. I don't think any man has the right to not know what he is physically capable of. I think it is a complete waste of your life and potential to not know and not pursue your highest physical level. To go out and just see what you can do. And especially as a parent, especially as a father, you have to go out there and you have to be in shape. You have to provide that example for your children. You have to lead by example. And even if you don't care how they turn out, just so you can participate in their life. I want to be the dad and am that dad, emphasis on want to and am, that can do anything my children ask of me. They want to climb something, cool, let's fucking climb it together. They want to be lifted into something, cool, let's lift it together. They want to play sports, cool, let's do that together. There is nothing that they can ask of me that I cannot do. And I am going to ensure that that fact stays true for as long as I am alive. Yeah, I know age is coming for all of us, but the longer I've been in this game, the longer I think a lot, and I mean a shit fucking ton of a lot of aging is a choice. I don't think age comes for us. I think we get old and we stop. I think we get old and decide that that is too much effort anymore. I think we get old and we don't do the things we used to. They talk about the founding principles of health and fitness and longevity are the ability to climb, jump, and sprint. When was the last time you did any of those things? I do them weekly. And there are weeks where my body fucking hates me for that shit. You know, today's one of them. I went back to basketball 2 weeks ago. And I realized I was the old guy. That, oh look, it's probably been coming for a while, but first time I realized it, that I was the old dude now. I wasn't the young buck anymore. But you better fucking believe I was still one of the fittest, if not the fittest. I am hands down the fittest on my team, and the only one with children, or young children. It's a choice. How we choose to live our life and the physical representation our body embodies to this world is a fucking choice. And it is a disgrace that so many of us are out here and have just failed that, have not risen to the occasion, have not looked after our bodies, and not seen what we are truly capable of in this life. It just is. No man has the right to be an amateur in terms of his physical body. It was true, I don't even know fucking how long ago Socrates was, but it was true then, and it's true fucking now. You know, those same issues keep arising. You do not have the right to be an amateur when it comes to your body. You need the capacity to do things. You need the capacity to handle whatever life throws at you. You need the ability to just go out there and be challenged on the fucking daily, to test yourself, to test your mettle, to see who you are, to test what's going on up here, to test that mental discipline and fortitude and that grit and determination. Our physical appearance is the ultimate fucking status symbol because it cannot be faked. It cannot be bought, it cannot be stolen, it cannot be won, it just has to be earned. And earned over a consistent period of time. Your body tells the story. You know, more and more I see people who will say that they will hire people based on their physical appearance. Because if you are fat and out of shape, it sends a signal to what you value. If you don't even value your own health enough to do the fucking work, what are the chances you're going to care about that business? What are the chances you're going to care enough to show up and do what's required? What are the chances that you are going to give it your all? If you don't care about you and how you feel and how you look and how you present, the chances of you showing up as the best version of yourself are fucking slim. And this is the gap, and this is the difference. That you don't have the right to be an amateur when it comes to your physical body. And if you have kids, I think that's doubly so. We've spoken about it. I never get the numbers right, but it's something like there's a 35% chance if you're obese that your kids will be obese. And if both parents are obese, it's something jumps to like 75% or something of that nature. But even if you just said it was like 20%, there is zero chance that I am going to let a 1 in 5 chance that my children will end up obese and have health conditions and have self-esteem issues and hate themselves and have ongoing problems. Because if it starts in childhood, my God, the chances of it reaching a point in adulthood and becoming a serious fucking issue is astronomical. So you set the standard. You show them what they do. You show them what is possible and lead by fucking example. And then also it's just going to happen innately. You know, my kids don't really eat junk food. They very rarely eat sugar. The only times they eat it is when they go to their grandparents' house. That's it. We don't have it in our house. And you know what? They don't crave it that much. They don't care for it. My children have never watched a screen in their life. They think it's a mirror. The TV in our house, they think it's a mirror. By design, choosing to be a good parent is difficult. It requires sacrifice. It requires you giving up your vices and giving up those things. I was heavily fucking addicted to caffeine. And I gave that up for my kids. And you want to know why? You want to know what one of the turning points was? So to put into perspective on how fucking, it's not I liked caffeine. It was, as I said the other day, I am legit an addict. And this was one of my few vices. But at my peak of stimulant addiction, I was on 6 prescribed dexamphetamines a day. I was on 10 to 12 cups of coffee and between 2 and 4 Monsters a day. By the way, a Monster has on its label, do not exceed 1 can a day. And I was having 2 to 4. And the point where I decided that I needed to give that shit up, and I cut it cold turkey and we moved the fuck on with our lives, was 2 shopping trips in a row. Once my son and once my daughter went to the fridge cabinet and grabbed a Monster from it. It was like, here, Daddy, I got you your drink for you. Fuck no. That is unacceptable. That they now associated that Dad can't even go shopping without hitting a Monster. And that's when I was like, no, shit has to change. Things have to be done differently. So I did. I cut it cold turkey. And I went through withdrawals like a mofo. Oh my God, was it fucking awful. That first week was a nightmare. I had headaches. I was dying. I had cravings. The back of my eyes hurt. Like, I legit thought I was going to die. And I came out the other side. And everything was okay again. And we moved the fuck on. But these things, these choices that you make, these weaknesses that you choose to continually give in, these vices will impact them on ways that you can't even imagine, on ways that you cannot fathom at this point. We know a lady, and because I told this story, and they were like, oh, yeah, my son does that too, except it's a bottle of wine. He calls it mummy's juice. And I was like, do you not see how that's a fucking problem? Do you not see how that's an issue? But this is where we're at. That we have gotten so soft in society that, you know, to be in great shape is one of the highest rarities. And yet it is that status symbol that separates you from the rest, especially as you get older. Especially as you become a father. You get into your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, and you're a parent, and you're in great fucking shape. That says something to the world about who you are. It says something that matters. And that you have the commitment that is worthwhile. You have the dedication and the grit. And that if you say you're going to do something, there is a good physical representation in front of you that you are going to do that. And look, I know there are going to be people out there who are like, oh, some people don't do that way. They're just genetically gifted, or they're on steroids, or whatever it may be. Yes, there are always going to be those people. But they are always the small minority. There are still, regardless, it is a testament to you and who you are, that you have commitment and follow through. And even if the world never gives a shit, which, look, they probably won't, it shows you that you can do the fucking work, that you can show up every single day and give it your all, that you can show up and commit and follow through and sacrifice the things that don't actually serve you for the better. It shows that you are that guy. And that's what matters. Because you don't have the right to be an amateur in this life in the form of your physical body. You have to go out there and be the best version of yourself. And I keep coming back to it. I'm like, you cannot be your best self if you are not in physically great shape. You cannot be the best father if you're not in great physical shape. You just cannot. And so maybe it is time to start getting hard with yourself. Maybe it is time to start judging yourself on these factors. Maybe it is time to stop soft shoeing around it and call you on your bullshit, that you are fat, that you are out of shape, that you are failing your family with these decisions. And now it's gonna stop. And now you've had a fucking enough. And now you're gonna do something about it. Because there's nothing better in the world than a comeback story. Everybody fucking loves an underdog story. So it's time to go out there and fucking earn it. Earn that daily. And watch how your confidence goes up. Watch how your pride goes up. Watch how you manage to keep your word to yourself in so many other areas. Watch how nearly every area of your life gets better. Watch how others' lives start to get better around you because you lead by fucking example. You know, my children like to work out with me. Not because they have any fucking clue about what working out is, but because they like to be the same as daddy. My children's first, definitely my son's, but, you know, as well as my daughter's, first solid food was fucking steak. Because we were eating steak. You know, like, you lead by example. You imprint on them. You are going to be your daughter's first love and your son's first hero. Show them that you're worthy of that. Show them that you have discipline and commitment and fortitude and follow through and grit and determination. Show them that you can do the work. Show them that with hard work and effort, anything is fucking possible. And it's never, and I mean never, too late. As I said, I fucked this up a couple of times. You know, at my worst, when I first created this program, I lost 33 kilos in the first 126 days. I've been fat, I've been out of shape, and I've gotten it back. I've built it back. And this is the most effective way just due to consistency. Just consistency and effort. And it means you show up better and differently in other areas of your life. And that's what it's fucking about. It's about showing up as the best version of yourself. It's about showing up and leading by example. And just, even if you want to be selfish as sin, just do it for you. You'll feel better. You'll look better. You'll act better. You'll have more confidence. You'll have more belief in yourself. You'll back yourself up more. You'll be able to handle more. Life will become easier. Life is just fundamentally easier because you go out there every single day and kick the shit out of yourself. So what the fuck's life going to do about it? What do you think life's going to do when it shows up? You do that by choice. For fun. Every single day. Life ain't going to have a bar on that. And that's how you start. And that's how you build a better life. That's why I talk about this being the key to building the best life possible. This is the key to chasing greatness. It starts with your physical appearance. It starts with keeping your word. It starts with doing it every fucking single day, without exception. Rain, hail, or shine. It doesn't matter what's going on. Because you gave your word, it is getting done. And that is the end of the story. And that makes you a better man. And that makes you show up in life as a better man. It allows you to do more, be more, live more. That's what you fucking want from life. You want to live your best life. You don't want to be cruising through, coasting through and going, oh, well, you know, it's just another fucking day. I didn't die. Suppose it's not completely fucking terrible. It's okay. No, go out there and chase your best life. Stop accepting this ridiculous level of mediocrity and just start doing the fucking work. Because you want to and that you need to. Because you'll feel better and you'll live better and your life will be better and everybody's life around you will be better. It needs to be said and it needs to be done and you need to show up as a better version of yourself. Because you deserve it. Because your family deserve it. Because everybody you know deserves it. So it's that time. It's time to go and do that stuff. And I think you're ready for it. So if you've heard me, if you've listened to this and it spoke to you, please shoot me a message. Let's get you into chasing greatness and start that process. Start pushing you towards being the best version you can possibly be. If you're not quite there, please click the link in my bio. Grab the top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, if this spoke to you, which I hope it did, if you're still here, I'm thinking it did, please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how this made you feel. You know, if it triggered you or if it spoke to you and you're glad someone's actually saying it. And lastly, send it to someone else who needs it, because I'm here every single day. And I'm just talking from the front. I'm just sharing my journey. I'm just leading by example. And I hope I can inspire you along the way. So if you know someone who also would be benefited from this, please send it to them. And I'll be back again tomorrow. Until then.